Right, Alien Earth. I know, wait, stop. Mr. H, you've already reviewed it. I did, I reviewed it episode by episode. And yeah, I've reviewed the final episode, but I've not given my thoughts on the overall series. And I actually said, season, if it gets renewed anyway. And I said in my final episode review that I've got to wait. I've got to sit on it. I've got to think about it. What do I actually think about this show? You know, because my final episode review was, there was a teeny bit of critique of the overall season, but it was predominantly just about that final episode. And, you know, it's been a while now. It's been a while, guys. It's been a while. And I thought, I think I've got enough of an opinion to sit around and talk about it. So, this is my overall review, I guess, what I actually think after some time. And I think often you do need to do that with some things. You know, the gut instinct, the gut reaction, it can be hit or miss. Now, overall, my thoughts largely as a whole remain the same, but we'll get into it. This was hugely wasted potential. Massively wasted potential. And I stand by what I said previously, where it just feels directionless. It almost actually doesn't feel like Noah Hawley wrote it. Now, that's not me trying to scapegoat on his behalf. If he wrote it, god damn, you're terrible. Like, actually fundamentally a terrible writer. This feels like someone who has sniffed their own farts for far too long. Now, Noah Hawley can do good stuff, don't get me wrong. But good lord, who thought it was a good idea to take one of the most beloved horror sci-fi franchises with potentially one of the most unique alien creatures of all time, you know, most iconic creatures of all time, and then go, I know what we're going to do. We're going to do a story based around Peter Pan as an allegory, well, hybrid synthetics as an allegory for Peter Pan. Who's the real monster? Who's the real crocodile? Is the xenomorph the crocodile? Who's Captain Hook? Who's Pan? Yeah. It almost feels like Noah Hawley had an idea for a Peter Pan series. Right? Something else entirely. And it feels like he reworked that to fit into Aliens somehow. Right? It doesn't feel like this was written from the ground up as an Alien series, and that's the issue. It genuinely doesn't feel that way. It feels like they started with Peter Pan and worked backwards. How then do we fit that into Alien? I know I'll do this. Which is a really broken way of doing things. A really broken way of doing things. So there's that. That was a problem. The acting was fine. Right? I think the chap who played Boy Cavalier did, by and large, actually a pretty bang-up job overall. Overall. Because he embodied that sort of maniacal genius that was a bit flippant here and there. But everyone else was a bit hit or miss. The chap who played Morrow, the cyborg, did a very good job. I think he's a great actor. Great actor. I want to say his name's Babu Cisse, but I actually can't remember if it is. Timothy Oliphant did a good job. He's good in everything, but he is a bit one note. But sometimes that's why you want to watch him. And that's why he suits certain roles over others. And that's fine. That is fine. Although I was expecting Walton Goggins to appear at a certain point. But alas. That's a Justified reference if you didn't know. So the acting was solid-ish, I guess, in certain parts. No, it wasn't really, was it? Because the main star, Wendy, right, played by Sydney Chandler, did a so-so job. So-so. Everyone else trying to play these children, yeah, became quite irritating after a while. Quite irritating. And this is the problem. Is you go into it with a bit of, I don't know, tinted goggles. Right? I genuinely had high hopes for it. I watched the first few episodes and I genuinely liked certain bits of those episodes. I was like, you know what? Not bad. Not bad. And then I think it was like episode 4, episode 5 when we went to the ship. And I was like, what the hell is going on now? What is going on? Like, where's the lore? And again, this is what I mean. It feels like someone just worked backwards from an idea and said, well, how can we fit this into Alien? Oh, well, we'll do this. Or, oh, well, we'll do that. Rather than, I know what we'll do. This is the overall plan. This is how it fits. This is how it works. And it's meant to be Alien from the very start. Now, I have learned some things about this show from people, individuals, you know, whispering around on the interwebs. And it does look like, actually, if they got their wish, this would have fundamentally broken the Alien universe. I.e., they were going to, the timeline was going to be different. This was due to go alongside the events of Alien. Wow. Well done. Well done. And this is what I mean. I wonder, as good as Noah Hawley is, how much of this has been butchered in the edit bay? How much 20th Century Fox executive involvement has been there, where they're just changing stuff? Or whether it was always meant to be a bit lame like this. Don't even get me started on the cock tease that is the iMidge T. Ocellus. Man, come on now. We wanted to see him in a human. Now, we did see him in a human on the ship, but we wanted to see him talk. What are you doing? Bitterly disappointed. Bitterly disappointed. What a shame. What a shame. That would have been wicked. But no, we can't have that. Can't have nice things. What are you saying, guys? Can't have nice things. Now, I don't know if they're going to make a season 2. And if there wasn't 20th Century Fox oversight, 20th Century Studios now oversight, there should have been. Right? Hulu and FX have done some staggeringly good things lately. Shogun being one of them. What a glorious season. Well, series. Now coming back for another one. Brilliant. Absolutely brilliant TV. Well worth checking out. But dear Lord, Alien. Goodness me. When you get people that fundamentally do not understand the universe, that's when you've got problems. It's all well and good playing in someone else's sandbox, right? Which is what Noah Hawley did, played in someone else's sandbox. No, it's not Ridley Scott. Yeah. If they don't understand it, they don't understand it. And because it's not theirs, and they're not fans, they don't have love for it. And that's a problem. That's a really big problem. So overall, what did I think of it? Well, you know, as a whole, not great. Not great. Can they pull it back from the precipice of damnation? Maybe. Maybe. Season 2 could pull it back. It won't, though. It won't. And I think you'll find people's interest wane when it comes to Season 2, if indeed they even do it. Anyway, I would love to hear your thoughts. Genuinely would love to hear your thoughts. So drop it all down below. I should have been more worried about this show. Should have been more worried about it. I did know that Noah Hawley refused to speak to Fede Alvarez, as Fede Alvarez was making Romulus. He wanted to try and make it so they aligned. But Noah Hawley was like, nah. Well, he didn't even reply, just ignored him. Well done. Well done. Anyway, what did you think? Overall, now we've had a little bit of time to think about it. What did you think? Let me know down below. Anyway, as always, take care. Bye-bye now.